Well, Bo Nix was asked at camp if he'd accept being the backup in his rookie season, and what a response he had.
The Denver Broncos have had a crazy month of July and first few days of August. Today, we will dive deep into the latest news from the Denver Broncos training camp. We'll cover standout players, the quarterback situation with Bo Nix, and what to expect from the team this upcoming season. So buckle up and let's get into it. But before I begin, I would really appreciate it if you would drop a like and subscribe. It only takes 5 seconds, plus you can always change your mind. We are now on the road to 40K subscribers, and with your support, I believe we can get there super fast. So, head coach Sean Payton has been emphasizing mental and physical toughness throughout the training camp. The team has been undergoing rigorous drills and exercises to build resilience and stamina, preparing them for the grueling season ahead. Payton's focus is on creating a mentally strong team that can handle high-pressure situations and maintain composure during critical moments. The quarterback situation has of course been one of the most talked about topics in the Broncos camp. Bo Nix, the rookie out of Oregon, has been pushing for more time with the first team. His performance in practice has been solid, and he's showing a lot of promise. However, the competition is stiff, with veteran quarterbacks also vying for the starting spot, and it seems like most of the coaching staff wants Nix to at least sit a few games out for experience first before being thrown out into the wild. Nix had a standout college career starting at Auburn. At Auburn, he earned SEC Freshman of the Year honors in 2019. His performance improved significantly after transferring to Oregon, where he set the NCAA single-season record for completion percentage at 77.4% and broke Oregon's single-season records for passing yards with 4,508 and passing touchdowns with 45 in 2023. Nix also added 6 rushing touchdowns, showcasing his dual-threat capability. Nix has been competing primarily with Jarrett Stidham for the starting quarterback role, and as of now, the competition really appears to be narrowing down to these two players, with Nix making steady progress and showing promise. The coaching staff has been closely monitoring his development and performance. Here is the recap of some of the recent training camps according to the research I did. On day 6, Nix delivered an efficient performance, drawing praise from teammates and coaches alike. On day 7, he turned in a strong performance with the starters, further solidifying his case for the starting role. And on day 10, with some struggles against the defense, the competition became open again. And Nix really just continues to gain valuable experience. According to DraftKings, Bo is the favorite to start in week 1 with minus 400 odds. This indicates a strong belief that he will be the guy under center when they face the Seahawks on September 8th. And if he secures the starting position, he would be the first rookie to start in week 1 for the Broncos since John Elway in 1983. Here's what the media has to say about Nix.
The thing with, Nix, just to bring this all full circle, is because he was chosen 6th out of the first round 6 quarterbacks,
right,
and because he didn't make the college football playoff, right? And I think, he was at Auburn, then he went to transfer, and that's an old school way of looking at things. Like, if you're so good, why did Auburn let him?
Why'd you stick around so long?
Right.
Mm-hmm.
And because you could, number one, COVID year for sure. And I think people look at him like he's Drew Lock plus.
Anyways, moving on from Nix, now let's talk about the rest of the team, starting with the receiving core that has a lot of upside, but just lost Jerry Jeudy to the Cleveland Browns. The receiver room is undergoing significant changes and intense competition during the 2024 training camp. Here's an in-depth look at the current situation, key players, and the dynamics at play. First off, Courtland Sutton remains one of the most experienced and talented receivers on the roster. His performance and leadership is crucial, especially with the departure of Jerry Jeudy that I just mentioned. Tim Patrick is also a key player for Denver, but his ability to contribute hinges on his recovery from injuries that sidelined him for the past 2 seasons. But there's no doubt that his return could provide a significant boost to the receiving core. Next, we have Marvin Mims Jr. The second-round pick from 2023 is expected to take on a larger role this season. His speed and playmaking ability makes him a valuable asset, particularly in the return game as well. And then acquired through free agency, Josh Reynolds brings some experience and reliability to the room. His chemistry with the quarterbacks will be vital as the season progresses. And then drafted in the 4th round, Troy Franklin has shown a little bit of promise during training camp. While there are some concerns about his speed and route running, he could still see significant playing time, especially if he continues to develop his skills and learn from the mistakes that he makes. Other contenders include Little Jordan Humphrey. He has a good chance of making the roster due to his familiarity with Sean Payton's system and his solid performance last season. His blocking ability also adds a bit of value to his candidacy. And then the last guy I want to talk about is Brandon Johnson. He's shown potential in his first 2 seasons, but has also struggled with injuries, so his ability to stay healthy will be a key factor in his bid to securing a spot on the roster. Now to get to the running backs, the running back room has been a focal point during training camp. With both positive developments and challenges emerging. Here's a detailed look at the situation. The room boasts significant depth and competition. Players like Javonte Williams, Samaje Perine, Jaleel McLaughlin, and Audric Estime are all vying for spots, which has elevated the overall performance and intensity during practices. Williams has been the standout, showing promise once again as the primary back. He's expected to handle the majority of the carries on first and second downs, and McLaughlin has been particularly noteworthy too, even purchasing a jugs machine to improve his skills. His dedication and performance have positioned him as a strong contender for a significant role, especially on passing downs, but let me know what you think. As for some of the negatives, Blake Watson's injury has created uncertainty in the rotation. Although he has recently returned to practice, his absence opened up the door for other players like Perine to step up, complicating the final roster decision. Also, consistency remains a concern. While like I said, there have been standout performers, maintaining high performance levels throughout the season will be crucial. The Broncos need their running backs to be reliable game after game, which is still an area to watch, and they will also need the offensive line to step up big time. Now to move over to the defensive side of things, I also want to talk about both the positives and negatives so far in training camp. So first off is the defensive line improvement. The D-line is looking solid so far compared to last season, which suggests better run defense and pass rushing potential. And then in terms of pressure generation, on day 8 of training camp, the defense wreaked havoc out there. And then the defense has been battling back in scrimmage-like situations, showing competitiveness and resilience. In terms of the negatives, there have been some cornerback concerns, especially about the CB2 position. Damari Mathis, who struggled last year, is reportedly having a difficult time in camp and is described as awful by some observers. And in terms of injury setbacks, Levi Wallace, a corner that was brought in to compete for that CB2 spot, injured his hamstring during practice. The next thing I want to talk about is inconsistent coverage, because there have been reports of successful deep passes against the D, including a touchdown to Brandon Johnson. But one thing the Broncos are trying to implement is an attack-oriented mindset. The defensive line is embracing a more aggressive attacking approach. This shift is aimed at enhancing their ability to disrupt opposing offenses, particularly in generating pressure on the quarterback and improving run defense, which as I said, was a weakness for them last season. Overall, the Broncos defense seems to be showing improvement in the front 7, particularly with the defensive line and pass rush. It will be very interesting to see how this unit does, because with a young QB, it is really important to get off to a hot start and set the offense up in good positions. That's really all I have to say for this video. Let me know in the comments below how you're feeling about this team as we are getting closer and closer to the season. Also, what you think about Bo Nix and the quarterback situation and everything else. Thank you all so much if you made it to this point in the video, and if you enjoyed and haven't yet, please be sure to drop a like and subscribe, because your support truly does mean the world. And also, let me know what you would like to see next, and until then, I will see you all later.